Hello! Welcome back to Steve's Retirement Corner. Don't cheat yourself in retirement. It's something that's always bothered me. It's when somebody doesn't spend for things that makes their life a little bit better or a little more comfortable in retirement if they got the money. Hey man, if you ain't got the money, man, hey man, you just can't make your life much better. You don't have that ability. And I understand, man. I know my fair share that's like that, Doc. I ain't gonna lie to you. Friends, neighbors, even relatives, man. Ain't got two nickels to rub together. Even in retirement, they ain't even, they got more a month than they got dollars. And it's a hard way to go through retirement. But if you got the money, man, spend it on what makes your life a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable, makes things easier on you. I ain't saying go out there and, buy a Lamborghini in different colors for every day of the week. But you ain't gonna do that. You didn't get to retirement by being stupid. You ain't gonna go hog wild once you retire. What a lot of people don't understand, and I didn't think about before I retired, was you carry a lot of baggage with you when you go into retirement. You're the same person the first day of your retirement as you were the last day you worked. If you were good with your money and you paid attention to how you spent it and everything, you're gonna be the same way in retirement. And same works the other way too. I think what happens is that over the years, you work on saving, trying to have a little bit, you building that saving habit up. A lot of times it starts out as need. It's because it's the only way you're going to have anything. But you do it for so long, it eventually becomes a part of who you are. It's hard to change a habit, but it's even harder to change who you actually are. It's almost like changing your daggone fingerprints. Hey man, spending in retirement instead of saving is a hard thing to get used to. I ain't gonna lie to you, Doc. It just isn't. It's something you ain't never done before. Or I hadn't, especially not without having a job. But go out there, man, if the house is getting too much for you to keep clean, it's getting to where you wore out every time you try to vacuum or something, get somebody once a week or once a month or whatever to come in there and give you a hand. You know what I mean? If cutting the grass is getting to be a little bit much in them hot summer days, hey man, hire somebody to do it. It doesn't take a lot to make your life a little bit more easier and comfortable in retirement. It's sad to say, but hey man, we all reach a point where stuff just gets hard for us to do and we can't do it. It's like me and them gutters. There's no reason I can't keep doing it. But at this point in my life, man, it's getting harder every year to climb that ladder. And it's not as safe now as it was when I was 20. I could bounce around. So, I've had to end up paying somebody to do it. I feel bad for doing it. But it's the right thing. It's I don't know, man. I just hate to see it happen. And I've seen it. I've seen Mom and Daddy go through it. Him with his bending nails. I never said anything because it's who he was. You know what I mean? Somewhere, some way, he either that's the way he grew up, or they didn't have enough money, or whatever, and they had to reuse nails like that. And he'd done it so long, it just become a part of him. You know what I mean? And me knowing full well that, buying a box of nails once in a while was not going to break him. It weren't going to prevent him from having dinner that night. But it just wasn't in him. It just wasn't part of who he was. He'd rather spend 30 minutes straightening nails and going down to the store and buying a new one. A new box of them. Same as when they went to see their advisor once a year for a checkup. Every time I went in, man, I'd ask them, hey, man, you need any more money a month? They can give it to you. All you got to do is ask them. And every time they'd say, well, you know, another 100 or 200 bucks a month would be nice. So, but we can get along. And the whole time I'm thinking, man, don't just get along, enjoy it. You know, retirement can be a great period of life if you don't cheat yourself and skimp on taking care of yourself. It's okay to be a little spoiled and spoil yourself, or selfish and spoil yourself in retirement. You worked all them daggone years. You did what you had to do, you know, to get here. Don't shortchange yourself by holding back on what can make your life a little bit more enjoyable or a little bit more comfortable. You know, what'll benefit you. You know, that's something. Hey, man, I'm totally the wrong person to to talk about spending in retirement, because I knew it was something that was going to give us a lot of trouble in retirement, and it has. Now, we've gotten better, but we ain't never going to be right with it. We just ain't. You know, we'll get better as it ages and learn to deal with it, but we'll never be happy with it. But it's one thing I try to guard against, is not shortchanging myself, not cheating myself out of a comfortable retirement if I can. It's something that'll make life a little bit better for me, a little bit easier. You know, all them years when you're working and raising a family, hey man, you got to cut back on things. You know, you can't go out there and get that double mocha latte floppy or whatever every day before you go to work. You got to, you know, cut back on it, because the family needs it, the home needs it. You got the guy standing at the door, he needs it, you know. So, you know, it's like when I bought a tiller for that garden over. I used to have a garden over here, and there was two of them side. It's been years ago. Kids were little. They were little, probably over 20 years ago. I know it was. But they had two tillers sitting side by side, and one of them was the only difference really between the two of them was one of them had a reverse on it, and the other one didn't. So I bought the one that was, I don't know what it was, man, probably $75 cheaper or whatever, you know, just because I couldn't see spending that for that extra little add-on, you know. And it did fine. It still runs, still a good tiller, but after a few years, I'd never had one with a reverse on it before. I didn't figure I needed one, and I still didn't. But I think it would have made it a little bit better if I'd have spent the extra dollar to do that. That's all I mean, man. Just, you know, maybe upgrade a little bit. I don't know. I hate to see it happen to people, but it's so easy to do, because you don't know no different. You will do things one way for so long, it becomes a part of you, and you don't know any different. And that's what's happened to me. I tried so hard not to be a nail bender, but I still got to keep guard against it. I mean, that's the truth. I'll bend a nail in a heartbeat. But hey, man, I'm sorry for not getting back on all them comments, man. I've gotten so many lately, I just can't keep up, and I try to limit myself on what I do on here. I'm retired, man. I got too much going on to keep answering too many comments at one sitting. But I'm gonna have to cut back. I'm gonna have to go back to about 25 or 30 answering. I just can't get to all of them. I do read them, and I appreciate it, Doc. You don't know how much I appreciate it. It gives me something to think about and give me a new idea about things. It helps me a lot. And then we got Cowbell Tuesday coming up Tuesday. Show up if you can. We'll have us a good time. Ringing the bell for new retirees. Got some good ones coming this month. But anyways, man, y'all take care of yourselves, man. Enjoy your weekend the best you can, and we'll talk to you later.